One of the key individuals that we are going to see in the Border-Gavaskar Trophy is Yashasvi Jaiswal. Jaiswal was one of the key individuals when India were playing in their home season. Over 700 runs against England, in tough conditions against New Zealand, he stood out for his aggressive intent, especially in Pune. But then when you look at Yashasvi Jaiswal, there will be nerves because yes, this is the first tour of Australia that he's seriously taking. And in the simulations, he looked good in the second innings that was there at the Waka. We won't read too much into the simulations, but looking at the mind space that Yashasvi Jaiswal is in, you have to understand that yes, all hopes of a good start in the BGT are pinned on him. Now, in the special interview that he did with BCCI.tv, the official website of the BCCI, there he's mentioned about how he's preparing for the BGT and also the help that he is getting from Virat Kohli. Now, Yashasvi Jaiswal has stated that yes, Virat Kohli is his inspiration because he mentioned about this particular thing. When I started playing senior cricket, I spoke to Virat about how I should manage myself in senior cricket. Virat told me to be disciplined about daily routines. Seeing him makes me motivated to make a difference. Let us make one thing very clear here. Virat Kohli is the benchmark when it comes to fitness. Virat Kohli has achieved things which many modern cricketers have never achieved, which is consistency across all three formats. Big match player. When you look at his record in Australia, it is simply phenomenal. What is the thing that Virat Kohli does? Supreme discipline when it comes to training, supreme fitness, and there is a very regimental way in which Virat Kohli goes about this. His diet, his exercise, everything is planned to the T. Now, if that discipline comes on in the Indian cricket team, that is why you have seen in his tenure, there was so much success. Yashasvi Jaiswal wants to do that. Yashasvi Jaiswal says that yes, when I go out to practice, there is a plan that is there. When I go out, I want to make a difference each and every time. And who does that boil down to? What is the main factor behind that? His admiration for Virat Kohli. Virat Kohli has set benchmarks that very few will ever emulate. But we have to also understand one thing, that father time waits for no one. Virat Kohli now is in this mortal phase. But he can bounce back. Australia, the conditions that are there will ensure that yes, he does bounce back. So that is why even Australia know that thing. So Yashasvi Jaiswal is saying that Virat's motivation and the way how he goes about things automatically applies for him, and that is why he wants to make a difference in Australia. So Yashasvi Jaiswal is ensuring that he gets the energy from Virat Kohli to ensure he feeds upon that energy and makes a difference. Now, gearing up for Australia. When he was growing up, lot of stories were told about how the conditions are in Australia. Yes, he mentioned that people have talked a lot about it, but I like to live in the present. So he said, there is something different about Australia, especially in the wickets. We know this. We are ready mentally for the challenge. Now, Yashasvi Jaiswal has stated that yes, first time ever he is getting these kind of exposures on bouncy, pacey decks in Australia. Optus has a different pace and bounce variety. Adelaide will have its swing and seam in twilight and also in the pink ball. Brisbane is pace and bounce. Melbourne's changed character from the slow drop in wickets now. You're seeing drop in wickets with a bit more spice. Sydney could be the only place which is a turner in many ways. So, there is something different about Australia and the wickets. Everywhere you go in Australia, the wickets have a specific characteristic. How you adjust to that, that remains to be seen. We know this, we are ready mentally for the challenge. So, the simulations have ensured that yes, they are mentally ready for it. Now, it is up to the skill sets to kick in. But understand one thing, mentally being ready and also executing it out in Australia is two different things altogether. India have come here with minimal time, but Jasprit Bumrah in the press conference pointed out that in 2020, 2021 we had even lesser time because of COVID protocols we couldn't practice much. So that is why this particular situation might be well for Yashasvi Jaiswal. This Border-Gavaskar Trophy is possibly the passing of the torch moment because after Rohit and Virat, you have Shubman and Yashasvi Jaiswal who will manage everything. This Border-Gavaskar Trophy is a make or break thing for Yashasvi because for all that he's worked for, this series is the culmination of it. And he's quite geared up to ensure that he will face some very good bowling and he will have to ensure that he goes in a very consistent way in this series. Thank you so much folks for joining us for this video. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis.